to your breath, as always. So being in the present moment, and nothing brings us back to the present moment as best as our breath can do. So I'll give us a couple more minutes to see if we have any other lovely ladies come join in, and then we'll get going. But if you don't have anything near you at the moment, in terms of props, it would be a good idea to just have some cushions or a blanket close by. Just in case your hips are a little bit tight, because a lot of it is around hips this morning. Hi, beautiful Beck.
Hi. How are you going?
I'm well. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
Great. Awesome. I reckon we'll get going. If I have someone else come in, I will just come forward to click onto that. But I was just saying, if any of you missed that, if you need any blocks or cushions to support your knees, if you know that you have tight hips, or if you need to elevate your hips to allow your pelvis to roll forward a little bit, just do that now. If you need to get a drink or go to the toilet, make sure you've done all that so that you can just enjoy your practice and settle in. And for those of you who don't have your microphones muted, can you please just mute them so that there's no extra sounds coming through.
And just before you start, Lauren, if I drop out a little bit early, I've just got an appointment to go to, so don't mind me.
No worries, Beauty. Cool. Yeah. Lovely to see you anyway.
Yeah, you.
Yay. Awesome. We've got one more. Hi, beautiful Kazan. I hope I'm saying that right. And lovely Kim, if you can just mute your microphone. Thank you, beauty. Great. So microphones muted, videos off or on, doesn't really matter. And we're going to find a comfortable seat just to begin. Like I said at the beginning, if you need to get any props such as blocks or cushions or blankets, find those now so that you can not be so distracted in your practice. And wherever you are, take a seat or lie down and let the eyes close down. And in this moment where your body is still, notice your breath and how the breath is linked directly to the mind. Without trying to change your breath, just observe if you feel any resistance in the flow in or out. Whether it feels fast or slow, regular or irregular. And to notice any unique sensations associated with inhale. Perhaps a cooling sensation to the back of the throat. And with exhale, a warming sensation against the back of the throat. In our practice today, related around the balsamic moon phase, just prior to the new moon, it's a time of ultimate rest. And it's the ultimate rest that is representing our ultimate transformation and transition in life. which we have so many transitions going on in life. We think of that ultimate transition, which is at the end of life. And I even think about it as that moment just before we inhale and at the end of our exhale. It's the pause, it's the rest, and it's the silence. We'll also be doing a lot of poses today that are based around the legs, the inner thighs, and the hips. Try and allow the energy to flow between the pubic bone and the navel center, which is the location of our sacral chakra, which is the second chakra, and the color for that is orange. And this center is related around creativity, sensuality and sexuality, and imagination. So when you're sequenced today in this sequence, allow yourself to enjoy each pose and to be present. And I'm going to allow longer moments of silence in the poses. If this feels a little bit uncomfortable for you, just observe that. And try and come back to the breath, or even notice if you feel more uncomfortable physically or emotionally. And let's begin in what's called square pose or fire log pose. So I'm going to mirror you in this sequence. Bring your left leg in front of your right in what looks like a cross-legged position. If you feel quite open in your hips, you're more than welcome to bring your left ankle on top of the right, but I want to encourage you to be okay in having a lesser intense pose. And if you need, blocks, cushions, blankets underneath the knees. We're going to start to fold forward just to where you start to feel sensation in the hips. This may be your edge this morning. Not trying to push further than you need. If you have a lot of support around you of cushions, feel free to rest your torso and your head on blocks or cushions. And then allow yourself to be still and to rest in the stillness of the posture. Initially, it may be that challenge of the transition from wherever you've come this morning to now being on your mat. So if that was quite high-paced or a lot of activity and conversation, sometimes slowing the body down immediately can feel a little bit overwhelming for your mind. And if that's the case, we're not trying to stop the flow of thoughts. We're just trying to create a little bit more space in between the flow of the thoughts. And to come back to the present moment, focusing on the unique qualities of the breath in and the breath out. Take 3 more breaths here. Allowing yourself to be in the present moment, not rushing your breath. Nice and slowly start to walk your hands back in towards you. Come up gently as the connective tissue in the spine in the morning may be a little sensitive. When you let your torso come upright, just take a moment to pause. You may even wish to keep your eyes closed. Spine is tall, the breath is smooth and calm. And notice just by focusing on breath, how easily we can train the mind to go in the direction of positive change, positive calmness and stillness. And let's change sides. Bring your right leg in front of the left. Again, if you need to adapt this posture, you're more than welcome to place props underneath knees, or if you're feeling like that doesn't provide any sensation for you, most welcome to place right ankle on top of left knee and then move into your pose. For the purposes of the moon phase in this practice, I'm just going with a lesser intensity, which still provides a lot of sensation in my hips as I fold forward. Start to walk yourself forward, and it can be completely different to the first side. So perhaps you fold it all the way down on the first side, and maybe this side your hips feel a little more sensitive. Just know that that's okay. We have so many transitions that happen in life, so many factors that affect how we turn up on our mat, how we turn up to our friends, family, to our work. And start to surrender into your posture. Palms facing up if that's available to you, to completely let the upper body relax. The head and the neck melting down. And let the hips and the sit bones feel nice and planted and rooted onto your mat. This element, spaciousness, creativity, imagination, and what feels good in your body, what feels good in your mind. Allowing yourself to indulge in these feelings.
Bring your attention to your breath and notice the influence that your breath has on mind. Can you let go through your exhale? And can you breathe in vitality, inspiration through your inhale, enlivening the body? This balance between receiving and letting go, making space, allowing yourself to be in that space, and then reflecting on what you wish to bring into that space. Start to now walk your hands back in towards you. And we pause. And you get your spine all the way straight. Just allow your legs to come out in front of you. And just take pause with your palms resting on your thighs, shoulders rolled back. An effortless length in the spine. And a weightless sensation in the shoulders, the neck, and the face. And in the pause, the rest and the stillness in between, it allows all the muscle tissue to be hydrated, to contract back down, to have more elasticity and fluid in that area in a healthy way. Keeping your left leg out straight, now bring your right foot to come to the inner thigh of your left leg. Again, if you struggle for yourself to roll forward, it's a great idea to sit on an elevated surface. So a cushion or a blanket is great for this. And if your knee is all the way up here, feel free to place a support of a block underneath or cushions that are a little bit softer. And then when you find your comfortable position, we then do the same thing. We start to fold forward over the front leg. If you want more support underneath your abdomen and for the torso, feel free to have a cushion or blocks as you start to fold down over your front left leg. Remembering that you don't need to go to your deepest point straight away. Just allow the body to open up before you. It's not about trying to contract and pull and yank yourself into a posture. See if you could actually be much more gentle and notice how that serves you in your creativity and enjoyment and pleasure, and what feels good in your practice. Notice when you reach resistance in a pose, what happens to your breath. If you hold it or you stop breathing. And then see if you can gently guide the awareness of the breath to expand on inhale and completely let go on exhale. And then notice whether you can move a little deeper into your posture and how that affects the condition of your mind. Over the next few breaths, begin to walk yourself back in. And like before, we take pause and we come all the way up. Just let your hands rest on either thigh, eyes closed down, feeling grateful for the rest and the pause, and acknowledging the transition out of the pose before we move to our next posture. Acknowledging the pause after exhale, just before inhale. Acknowledging how to just be in the present moment. Keep your left leg extended out in front of you. We come into half shoelace. So your left leg, bend the knee and place the foot over this will be your right leg if you're following the mirrored instructions. So your right leg comes over your left and you bend it so the knees are in line with each other. If your knee is all the way up here and it's super uncomfortable, again, elevate the hips so it rolls your pelvis and your knee forward. If you need, remember that you can place props in between wherever there's gaps from a place of discomfort. So again, be creative, use your imagination and do what feels good in this pose. So it doesn't mean not feeling anything at all. There needs to be a little bit of intensity for these poses, but also do them in a way that serves your body. And so now you may be getting plenty of sensation just staying here, or you can start to fold yourself forward. So a beautiful hamstring opener for your left leg. Also getting into the right hip crease. A nice idea is to place a block between the shin and the head, or a cushion if you have it. As you come down, just so you can allow yourself to be completely passive in the pose, contracting the least amount of muscles in the body and allowing all the tissues that are being healthily stressed to absorb the benefit. And if at any point you need to take a break, you're most welcome to move out of the posture and then return back to the pose when you feel ready. Take one more full, slow and complete breath, and then allow yourself to transition out of the posture. Nice and gently, come back upright. Let your right leg extend. You may just want to bounce the knees out a little bit. And then find your stillness of resting in between. Eyes closed, shoulders rolled down. Spine tall, and a level of effortlessness in your practice. Less gripping in the face, in the neck, the shoulders, the seat. And let's come to do the same little sequence on the other side. So keep now your right leg extended and bring the left sole of the foot to the inside of your right thigh. Take a moment to check in with how your body's presenting on this side. It may be more open, it may be your tighter side. Set yourself up in the posture so that you can fold forward and allow yourself to be gentle and soft, to be creative, and to feel some amount of enjoyment in this posture. How can you make this posture feel more enjoyable? Whether that's propping yourself up with a pile of cushions, pillows, blocks, the head and the neck relax. Let the eyes close down. Notice what it feels like. Actually feel sensation in the body. So often we can be really disassociated with sensation or feeling in the body, or even with words that we say. It can be a bit of a mismatch in the words that we say and what we mean. So it's trying to bring connection back with the breath awareness, awareness to sensations in your body, and then taking moments to acknowledge them and reflect on them, and then to just be in the silence and the stillness and not need to be any other way than what you are exactly in this moment right now. Begin to move your way out of this position, walking the hands in closer towards you and allowing that moment of rest when you come upright. Hands rest on either thigh, no gripping, almost a sense of proudness in your posture and your body language. A sense of spaciousness, opening the doors for creativity and imagination. And to be creative and imaginative, we actually need to allow ourselves to experience boredom and to feel a little bit lost. And that's when we start to really spark our creative nature. We transition now to half shoelace on the other side. So bring your left foot over the right to start with. And then if you can, the left ankle comes closer to the hip and the knees try to line up as best they can. So if you need any props underneath the knees, if you need to adapt this in any way, by all means, you can do this posture on your back by holding both ankles and bending the knees. If you're available for the seated version, we then start to fold forward, and you can use your prop here to assist you in relaxing completely in your posture. So I'm just again using the block underneath the head as I start to fold forward. And depending on the tightness in the extended leg, the hamstring of the extended leg, you may not be able to bend down very far. And that may be different from the first side. So just go nice and steady. Don't try and push yourself or pull yourself into a pose to make it match the first side. Feel grateful for being able to acknowledge how your body's feeling this morning or whenever you practice this class. The more gentle you are in yin, the more you get rewarded with your body opening up for you, perhaps deepening into your pose, or your breath getting slower and deeper. It's a bit like the Tao Te Ching, where my favorite line is that the doing, not doing. So by not doing, in terms of action, thoughts or speech, sometimes things just come to us. I'm sure we've all had moments where it feels like you can overtalk or try and do all these things to make things happen. It feels like you're pushing against the grain. And it's in that very moment that you stop pushing or trying so hard that things just start to fall into place. You become more clear. You allow things to come into the space that you've created. Take 3 more breaths here. And when you feel ready, start to transition out of the pose, allowing the hands to walk in, being mindful of props you may be using. Let both legs extend out straight in front of you. For your rebound posture here, the counter pose, come to lie on your back. Let yourself be all the way still onto your back. Allowing the hydration of the connective tissue here to move all the way along the legs, to move freely through the hip joints. Let the palms rest where they need to. You can place them on your body or next to your body. Now, yoga class, any yoga class that you do should be about breaking through patterns, old patterning that isn't serving you. It's helping you to transform your world, helps you move in a more positive direction towards the part of you that is your true self. It's about clearing all of those less than constructive words or thoughts that keep us stuck in our current situation. For this particular class, it's breaking through patterns of things you may enjoy but don't allow yourself to enjoy them. So reconnecting with pleasure, imagination, creativity. Now bend both of your knees and place both of your feet on the mat. We're coming into half happy baby here. So starting with both knees bent is a really nice idea. You may like to use a strap or something resembling a strap. And now take a hold of your left foot, the outside of the left foot with your hand. If this isn't accessible to you, use a strap here, or you may feel more comfortable holding onto the ankle. It gives the same sort of stretch to the inner left thigh and the outer left hip. So choose where you are today, and if that feels relatively okay, you can start to extend out into the right leg. If that's too much, just come back to a bent knee. We've prepared the rest of the class to open the hips, to open the backs of the legs, and to open the inner thigh also. So connecting to the second chakra. Color is orange. Can you relax a little more into your shoulders, into your face? Close the eyes down. Let your feet relax. And notice what you find pleasurable or enjoyable, not what others think you should feel, but what you actually feel. How do you let yourself be? Just turn up to be in the present moment with no other agenda, just to be in your practice. Wherever you are, in whatever variation, bring the right foot to connect back to the mat. Gently release the hold of your left foot. Just extend the left leg straight for just a moment. How has your practice changed from the beginning to where you are now? Let's transition to the other side. Bend your left knee, place the left foot on the mat. Half happy baby with your right foot. So choose a variation, either hand to the outside of your right foot, or you hold on to the ankle and you draw the ankle in towards your belly button. That can be a really nice variation on different days, depending on how you feel. Often I do use that one, but today I'm feeling more into this version of half happy baby. So choose where you're at, then extend into your left leg if that's serving you. You may even wish to place your left hand on the left hip flexor. This side already feels a little bit tighter, and that's okay. On this final transition, prior to the new moon, the chance of reflection on what the past month has brought for you. It's a chance to begin again. Nothing is permanent. And that if we have enough willpower and determination, that we can change our direction of life in whatever way we wish to. It doesn't mean attaching to unrealistic dreams or goals, but to realize that you are powerful. To move your life in the direction that you want it to move in. Already, by you turning up for this class, shows that you're willing to do something for yourself. Perhaps you find it enjoyable. Perhaps sometimes you find it challenging. There's some part of you that comes back to knowing that your self-care and preservation is really important. Take one more complete breath here. Rebend into your left knee to remove the grip of your right foot. Right hand releases. If you need any adjusting poses prior to the final pose of Shavasana, by all means, you're welcome to do so, or set yourself up with cushions underneath the knees of the head. Get yourself nice and cozy and restful. You may even want to get a big quilt or doona. Your house as the sun shining through always feels like a nice restful final pose. When you come to lie on your back, just surrender wherever you are without trying to fidget or move too much. Just let yourself be completely still. Without changing any expression on your face, feel as though the whole body is smiling. Feel a smile in your eyes. Feel a smile in your whole face. In your heart, feel as though your heart is smiling. Notice what that feels like. Letting letting go of the control of the breath. Let it be effortless. Each lung, feel a smile in each lung. The abdomen, a radiant smile, noticing how that feels in the body. The pelvis, smiling. The legs, smiling. Just smile at each of your fingers and toes. And then allow yourself to rest in the feeling of a smile. Resist the urge now to move the body. Just allow the mind, body, breath come back into awareness. Notice where you may have been during that relaxation. Begin to feel sensation of your body resting on the mat. And start to deepen your breath. Just gradually starting to bring more awareness to feeling the abdomen and the chest on inhale. And then on the exhale, feeling the collarbones drop and the navel move towards the spine. With each consecutive breath, start to feel like your body is starting to wake up, moving into the fingers and the toes. Still feeling that sense of a smile. And then roll to your right side. Take rest on your right side for just a few moments. Please join me in a seated position as to whatever feels comfortable for you, whether that's in a chair, sitting on your heels, sitting in a cross-legged position. Close the eyes down. Take a moment to reflect on this pause. This transition from the end of class to now, the transition of your breath. To feel more connected with where you find enjoyment and pleasure, and the ways in which you connect to your creativity center. Bring your palms to prayer in front of the heart. A moment to give gratitude to yourself for turning up, and to the others who directly or indirectly occupy your space, time, and energy. Breathe in and breathe out, bowing your forehead towards your hands to acknowledge the practice. Namaste. Take your time in transitioning out of the practice. If anyone has any questions or feedback, you're more than welcome. Or if you just wish to slip out of the practice, close off your camera, that's okay as well. I understand that you may be feeling a little bit more relaxed or not wanting to chat, but if you feel like sending me a message or an email later, I'm always open to that as well.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome, Maddie. So nice to have you, beautiful girl. Have an awesome day. And kiss Ruby.
I will. Thank you.
Hi, Kim.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks, Beck.
Thanks, Lauren. That was amazing.
Awesome. Go enjoy your day, beautiful lady. Whatever you're up to.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye. Kim, let's chat.
How did you go? I haven't seen you since